If you leave a like on this video right now and subscribe to my YouTube channel, your mom will let you play Minecraft tonight. So what are you waiting for? Like and subscribe. What's up, everybody? Watt007 here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links leak video. And today we have a ton of content to talk about. We got some new cards to talk about. We got some new ranked PP rewards for the next season to talk about, and we got some brand new skills to talk about. So instead of dragging on this intro for so long, let's get into the leaks in today's Duel Links video. Big shout out to Duel Links Meta for providing all the leaks in today's video. If you want to go check out the website, link in the description down below. And on top of that, if you guys want to skip to any segment of today's video, check the timestamps in the description down below so you guys can just click on the news that you want to take a look at. First thing we're going to take a look at is some reprints for the next ranked PP season, because every time we get a new ranked PP season, we get some brand new cards to get with the UR, SR, rare, and normal tickets, and we get some reprints. And the reprints that we're going to be getting is for the UR ticket. With the ranked PP ticket, you can get Cyber and Dragon next season. For your SR tickets, you can get Sand Moth. For your rare tickets, you can get Winged Minion, and then for your normal ticket, you can get the Winged Dragon Guardian the Fortress #1. So there's a bunch of reprints that you guys can get with your ranked PP tickets in the next season, which is going to be awesome. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at some of the new cards that you can get with your UR and SR tickets from ranked PP. And the first card we're going to take a look at is this SR card called the Storm Shooter. This is a Wind level 7 Winged Beast monster. Once per turn, you can select and activate one of these effects. You can move this card to an adjacent horizontal unoccupied monster zone. You can return one spell, trap, or monster card on your opponent's side of the field in the same column as this card to its owner's hand. This card has 2300 attack and 500 defense. Now, Storm Shooter is a pretty cool card, and it's interesting that Konami is adding some more cards related to columns, and the next card we're going to take a look at after Storm Shooter is also related to columns. And it's just kind of neat that they're going to keep adding cards related to columns, because the cards that had column effects were introduced during the Varane's era, and it's just very interesting to see them get added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because we did get like the Mech Knight Green Knight card a little bit ago, and then in the card trader we had some like rare card that allows you to adjust the where the monster zone is. Like, you can move it in between monster zones if you wanted to, and it's cool that Storm Shooter can do that too. And on top of that, it actually has a pretty cool effect where you can just return a spell, trap, or monster card on your opponent's side of the field in the same column as the card to its owner hand. And I need you guys to correct me if I'm wrong about this in the comment section down below, but I think returning does not count as targeting, and if it doesn't count as targeting, that's actually pretty good, because when you get Storm Shooter onto the field, then you can just bounce your opponent's monsters back to their hand, and then they can't and if that monster had an effect that stated it can't get targeted, it doesn't matter because you're returning it. But I would need to know the logistics of that, so if you guys know that, tell me in the comment section down below. But Storm Shooter's cool. The only downside to this card is that it doesn't really have any good ways to get it out onto the field easily, and in most cases you're gonna have to tribute 2 monsters in order to get Storm Shooter out, which is kind of obnoxious, because if this card was able to get easily special summoned, I could see this card seeing a lot of play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. But the fact that it is just a 7-star Wind Winged Beast monster, there's not really too much you can do with it from what I remember on the top of my head for easily special summoning into it. But I gotta say, it's a pretty cool card for a card that you can get for free just by playing Duel Links. And then the next card we're going to take a look at is Mech Knight Yellow Star, which is going to be available with the UR tickets from ranked PP. And this card is a light level 7 psychic effect monster. If 2 or more cards are in the same column, you can special summon this card from your hand in that column. You only can special summon Mech Knight Yellow Star once per turn this way. You can banish one Mech Knight monster from your graveyard, then target spell and trap card in this card's column, destroy it. This card has 2200 attack and 2800 defense. Now, I like that this card is a light psychic monster that is somewhat easy to special summon, because if your opponent summons a monster and sets a back row card, that gives you immediate access into summoning into Mech Knight Yellow Star, which could happen more often than not. Now, the attack is somewhat lacking, but you do get to special summon this card for free, but it has 2800 defense, which is pretty solid. And the only thing that I kind of don't like about this card is that its effect is very just meh at the moment, because the only way to trigger its effect is if for its secondary effect to destroy a spell and trap card on your opponent's side of the field. Like, you have to banish a Mech Knight monster from your graveyard, and the only other Mech Knight card that we have in the game is the green Mech Knight. So we only have yellow and green when yellow comes into Duel Links, so it's going to be hard to trigger that spell and trap card effect. And then on top of that, it needs to be in the same column as this card, so you'll be able to pop the card that your opponent had on their field. If they had like a monster and a trap card or a spell card behind them, you can pop that, but then you can't pop anything else. So like, Yellow Star is cool because it's a good monster to special summon into, because yeah, opponent goes turn 1, summons a monster, sets a spell and trap card right away, easy to special summon, but its effect's kind of lacking in my opinion. But but still, it's a psychic and it can combo with psychic cards, and it's also a light monster, so it can combo with light and dark decks if you choose to. So not too shabby for a card. I think the SR card that we are talking about earlier in today's video has more potential than this one, but this Mech Knight is still pretty cool in my opinion. And it's just very interesting to see that we're getting more column cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, especially for the fact that Duel Links does not allow us to place our monsters and spell and trap cards anywhere we want. Like, for example, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy, the Duelist Link Evolution, in that game, you have a setting where you can place the cards wherever you want because there's so many cards in the game that relates to columns. But in Duel Links, you currently can't do that yet. So, like, your opponent's forced to set their monster in the middle monster zone and set their spell and trap card in the middle spell and trap card zone. So that's why it's going to be easy to summon into Yellow Star. But if they give us the option to place them wherever we want later in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, then people will probably start like setting their monster or summoning the monster in the middle and then putting their spell and trap card on the left or right, depending on the situation. So very interesting, that's for sure. And I'm very curious to see of how many like column cards that we're going to get in Duel Links, because at some point we'll probably get some broken column cards, and this issue of like not being able to place your cards anywhere you want could be a huge issue in the future, that's for sure. But still, cool to see some more column cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I'm looking forward to it. Now we're going to be taking a look at some leaked cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and these leaked cards are actually really cool, but they're not going to be attainable to us anytime soon. But one of the leaked cards that definitely is going to pique a lot of your guys' interest is this card called Fire King High Avatar GARUNIX or something like that. Completely mispronounced that last part of this card's name, but this card is really cool. Currently, there's no like confirmation on when we're going to be getting this card, but fingers crossed that we can get this in a upcoming box in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because this card's really cool and a card that a lot of people wanted back when the Sacred Fire Phoenix deck, I forgot the name of the card on top of my head, but I'll edit it in the video. When that deck was at its peak, so many people wanted this card. This card right here is a level 8 Fire Winged Beast effect monster. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. When you do, destroy all other monsters on the field. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King monster from your deck except Fire King High Avatar GARUNIX. This card has 2700 attack and 1700 defense, and as you guys can see right here, this card is crazy good, and I could see this being added into a future box in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, considering we got Judgment Dragon, and Judgment Dragon wasn't like a huge problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. We got Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which just pops 2 cards, not targetable, pop 2 cards, absolutely insane. So I could see getting Fire King High Avatar GARUNIX definitely in the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but its effect is just so good because you can pop it with Fire King Island or some of your other Fire King monsters, pop this card from your hand, and then just special summon it next turn, just pop all of their monsters on the field and attack your opponent with 2700 attack. And then if you also have the Sacred Phoenix card, you can also utilize this card, and you can also use Fire King High Avatar and the Sacred Phoenix and pop both back row and pop both monsters. It's just insane. Also, this will probably play well in the Methus deck, which is pretty cool. It's that ritual deck that is related to the Sacred Fire Phoenix card, and that could probably combo well with Fire King High Avatar GARUNIX, because this card's a level 8, the ritual monster's a level 8, and you can just kind of go from there. So really cool right here. Definitely looking forward to see if this card will get added into a new box in the future Duel Links, because I would love to play Cerulean Phoenix again, because I just love the artwork of that card. So very cool card. Don't know when we're going to be getting this, but it's definitely up in the air. Like, it could happen, and fingers crossed in the next box in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, the next card I take a look at is Witchcrafter Adele, and full transparency, this card and the next 2 cards I'm going to be talking about in today's video are only for Taya Gardner's new deck when you face against DOCD Taya in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but I still wanted to give a look at these cards, because who knows, maybe in the future we'll get them down the road. Maybe these cards will get some rarity changes in the future, and if they do, they'll definitely get added into a new box, because whenever Konami like takes existing cards in the game that were used in NPC events and give them rarity changes, we'll get them in the future. So I don't know, I thought it would be fun to like talk about these cards real quick and then see if we could get them sometime in Duel Links. But right now these cards are not going to be available, and they're only for DOCD Taya. Anyways though, Witchcrafter Adele is a UR card. It's a light level 5 spellcaster effect monster. Quick effect, you can discard 1 spell, special summon Witchcrafter monster from your hand except Adele. You contribute this card, then target 1 spellcaster monster in your graveyard except Adele, special summon it. You only can use this effect of Witchcrafter Adele once per turn. This card has 2000 attack, 2300 defense. Now, from the little like playtesting I have played with Witchcrafters, I'm not too big of a fan of the fact that you can't special summon a Witchcrafter from your deck with Adele, but still this card's pretty good, because if you do have one of your Witchcrafters in your hand, you can just special summon it for free, and then the Witchcrafter that you have in your hand, if you have more spells in your hand, you can just utilize your other Witchcrafter you just special summon to then special summon from a deck, which is pretty cool. Then on top of that, the Witchcrafter that you just utilized, that you just special summoned from your hand onto the field and potentially triggered its effect to tribute it to send it to the graveyard. After you want for your special summon, you can use Adele's second effect, or you can tribute this card and then special summon the Witchcrafter that you just sacked off and special summon it onto the field. So you can do like a lot of like just crazy special summoning with this card, and this card is definitely a good combo extender. So this card's pretty cool. Could see this card. If Konami wants to like sell Witchcrafters, maybe they'll add this card sooner rather than later in a box, just because they want to like make that quiche. But it could be another one of those things where they might not do it for a while now. But still, cool Witchcrafter card. Definitely curious to see if we'll get a more Witchcrafter support later in Duel Links. But yeah, cool card. Next card we're going to take a look at is a card called Cupid Dunk, which is a 4-star light fairy effect monster. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster unless that monster has a higher level. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can increase this card's level by 1. This card has 1800 attack and 600 defense. And I gotta say, this card is very toxic. Now, I did check Duel Links meta, and this card I don't think is used by DSOD Taya, but still, it's not going to be a card that I don't think we'll be getting soon. But I'm like 50-50 on if this card is like broken, or just like you just need to play the right deck. Because if you think about it, we have a ton of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links that can, one, get a very high level monster right away. Like we have so many decks that can get 7 and 8-star monsters immediately, so it would be difficult to take care of, or it would be easy to take care of Cupid Dunk and get it off of the field. So there's that right there. We also have a lot of cards in the game that can just pop cards anyways, and this effect only protects it from getting destroyed by battle with a monster that has a like lower level than it. So even though it gains a level once per turn, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Maybe the only other thing you would have to worry about is probably like skills like level duplication. I guess level duplication could make this card very toxic, because if you just run like a lot of high level monsters, level duplicate, and then make your Cupid Dunk a high level, that could be a problem, that's for sure. And maybe that's why we probably won't get Cupid Dunk for a while in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because it'd just be so annoying. You summon Cupid Dunk and then your opponent just like or then you just showcase like one of the god cards in your hand and just make Cupid Dunk like a 10-star, 11-star, and 12-star monster. That'd be pretty toxic. And then you need to like utilize cards, or your opponent would need to utilize cards against it like TTH to get rid of Cupid Dunk. So there's that right there. But so I'm like 50-50. Probably won't get this card anytime soon though, just for like how toxic it potentially can be. And I'm perfectly okay if we don't get this card in Duel Links, because I don't want to be vibing with like a meme deck. Somebody normal summons Cupid Dunk, level duplicates it to like level 10, and I'm just like, well, rip my meme deck right there, boys. Like, come on, dude. So we'll see. But this was another card that got leaked, and it's pretty interesting. Last card we're taking a look at is Witchcrafter Masterpiece, a rare card, and this was used by DSOD Taya. This is a normal trap card that states, if you control a Witchcrafter monster, target a spell in either graveyard, add 1 card with the same name from your deck to your hand. During either player's turn, except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card in any number of spells from your graveyard, and special summon a Witchcrafter monster from your deck whose level equals the number of spells banished to activate this effect. You only can use each effect of Witchcrafter Masterpiece once per turn. So this card is actually pretty cool, because you can utilize this card to thin out your deck. You summon your Witchcrafter monsters, pitch those spells and whatnot, and then like later in the duel you can utilize a Masterpiece to target a spell in either player's graveyard and add it to your hand. And since it does stay either player's graveyard, depending on like what decks you're going against, if your opponent's rocking those similar spells like you can just target their spells and then search it for the spell that you need, which would be really cool too. And also for the fact that you can banish this card in any number of spells from the graveyard to summon a Witchcrafter monster from your deck, whose levels equals the number of spells banished to activate the effect, is kind of spicy too. For the fact that like if you pitch this card to the graveyard through another card and then utilize this effect to special summon a Witchcrafter, you can do that. Or if you activated this card and then when it got sent to the graveyard, you wait another turn, trigger that second effect, and then special summon a Witchcrafter monster. Like there's a lot of like cute combos you can do. Again, I'm not sure if I'm feeling this card that much, because since it is a trap card, it's going to be a little slow, and a lot of the time when you're playing Witchcrafters, you're going to be able to add back your spells from a graveyard back to your hand. So I'm kind of like whatever about that. But other than that, it's a neat search card. I don't know if it would see a lot of play. But maybe it would, because like I only played Witchcrafters like once anyways, so like I don't know. I'm like, it's whatever. Like maybe it's a good card, like I'm not feeling it. And since I haven't played Witchcrafters like a lot, maybe I'm like missing something out right here. But neat card, maybe we'll get it in the future. But for now, it's only available with DSOD Taya. Now for the final part of today's video, we're going to take a look at some new character IDs, and we're going to be taking a look at some new skills. And the first thing we'll take a look at is the new character IDs. And fun fact, Tristan Taylor and Bakura now have character IDs in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. When DSOD Yu-Gi Moto came into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we actually got a bunch of artwork for Tristan and Bakura, so we kind of knew that we're going to be getting this character or these characters some point in the future. But now that we have some new character IDs for both of these characters, Konami is definitely considering to make Tristan Taylor and Bakura playable characters in the future. And since we got Taya Gardner in in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links that's going to be a playable character. We'll definitely be seeing these two lads go into Duel Links. It's going to be cool to have Bakura as a non-evil character in Duel Links. That's going to be fun. And shout out to Tristan Taylor, the meme lad himself, going to get into DSD world. Looking forward to it. So that's awesome right there. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at some new skills. And the first skill we're going to take a look at is Magician Girl Defense, which is a skill for DSD Taya. As long as you control 2 or more Magician Girl monsters, all damage you take is halved. Honestly, not too shabby of a skill, and for the fact that you just take less damage when you have multiple Magician Girl monsters in the field, not too bad. And on top of that, it's easy to get multiple Magician Girl monsters on the field because they just love special summoning each other. So honestly, not too shabby of a skill. I don't think it's groundbreaking by any means, but it's definitely a cute skill, that's for sure. Next skill we're gonna take a look at is another DSD Taya skill called Call of the Magician Girls. If you have 4 or more Magician Girl monster with different names in your deck, you'll have an improved chance of having a Magician Girl monster in your starting hand. I think this one will actually be a little bit better compared to Magician Girl Defense because you just have a higher ratio of getting Magician Girl monsters in your hand, which can help you out for getting into those Magician Girl combos. So I definitely lean towards this one if you're going to start playing a Magician Girl deck, that's for sure. So you just get that increased ratio of getting them spicy Magician Girls. So you can open up with Kiwi Magician Girl more often. Let's go, boy. Let's go. And then the last DSD Taya skill that we're going to take a look at in today's video is Magician Girls. The attack of Magician Girl monsters you control is increased by 100 for each Magician Girl monster you control. So this sounds like a permanent effect, which is actually really cool. So compared to like skills like Tides of Bind where you have to activate it per turn in order to trigger it, Magician Girls is just like a passive effect, kind of like a field spell, and your Magician Girl monsters gain 100 attack for each Magician Girl monster you control. So it's like a field spell version of Tides of Bind specifically for Magician Girls. So honestly pretty cool. I like Call of Magician Girls and Magician Girls. They're definitely pretty cool skills. Magician Girl Defense is also not too shabby. So all those skills, pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at a skill called the Charm of Maiden in Love, a Blair skill. If your life points are 2,000 or less at the start of your turn, take control of a monster with the highest attack in your opponent's field, and you only can use the skill once per duel. Now, this is definitely a pretty busted skill right here, and I'm just going to be fully transparent right here. I was going to mention this later in the video, but I'm going to need to mention this now. I'm going to guess this is a skill probably exclusive for tag dueling, and I seriously doubt that we would get this skill anytime Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because there's like a lot of skills that we're going to talk about in today's video that are actually related to a potential tag duel event in the future, and I hope that the Charm of the Maiden in Love is a tag duel exclusive event when you team with Blair, because if this skill becomes like an unlockable skill for Blair, it's going to be super toxic, because like you just play 2 Cosmic Cyclones and then go make your life points 2,000, and then at the start of your turn you just take control of a monster, the highest attack in your opponent's field, you just yoink it. Like it's skills don't target, you just yoink it. That's like actually ridiculous. So yeah, fingers crossed it's an NPC only skill. I don't want to see that in ranked PvP whatsoever. That's a toxic skill. Next skill we're going to take a look at is an Agami skill called Undimensioned. If your life points are 4,000 or less, show to your opponent from your hand 2 cubic monsters and put a cubic counter on a face-up monster on your opponent's field. A monster with the cubic counter on it cannot attack and cannot use the effect. You only can use the skill once per duel. Again, super busted skill. Probably going to be a tag duel exclusive skill, because wouldn't it, like, why would you want to state if your life points are 4,000 or less with a skill if it wasn't a tag duel skill? Because in tag dueling you start off with 6,000 life points. So this tag duel skill, gotta say those skills really good for the fact that, of course, when you have 2 cube monsters on your hand, you just put a cubic counter on a face of monster opponent's field, and then that monster or a monster with the cubic counter on it cannot attack and use its effects. So there you go right there. And also when you activate this skill, I'm guessing like the other cubic counters that you have on your other opponent's monsters would also not be able to attack and use the effects thanks to the skill. So again, super toxic skill. Definitely don't want to see it public in ranked PvP or whatever. Definitely a tag duel skill. And then the last skill we're going to take a look at is Cyber Dragon Reboot. At the start of your 6th or onward turn, choose a random Cyber Dragon monster in your graveyard and put it onto the field. You only can use the skill once per duel. Again, this is probably a tag duel skill, but at the same time, this is the like skill out of the like previous 2 that I talked about, where like I could see this getting added into Duel Links as a regular skill, just for the fact that like it's not broken by any means, because you have to wait to your 6th or onward turn to even trigger it, and then then the game chooses it for you randomly. You don't get to choose the Cyber Dragon monster you want on your field. So like it could get abusable, but like at the same time it's like way too long of a wait. Proto Cyber Style, or just Cyber Style is just better anyways for going and popping off a Cyber Dragon. So yeah, definitely could see this being added into Duel Links as like an unlockable skill. for Zane, but at the same time, I still think Cyberstar would be better, and again, probably going to be an NPC only skill, because a lot of these skills I'm talking about right now are for like maybe a tag duel event later on in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And then the last group of skills we're going to take a look at is a bunch of skills that don't have any names. We have Ancient Fairy Dragon Rescue, Ultimate Evolution, The Thing Which Appears from the Dark Horizon, Red Eyes Fusion, and Thunder Dragon Colossus Descent Preparation. A bunch of skills related to all sorts of different characters from the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe. We have a skill for 5Ds because we have Luna's Ancient Fairy Dragon, Ultimate Evolution, either, I'm going to guess, a Seto Kaiba skill. I could see that being a Seto Kaiba skill. We have Red Eyes Fusion, Joey, we have The Thing Appears from the Dark Horizon, DSOD Yugi, and then we have Thunder Dragon Colossus Descent Preparation, Mokuba right here. So we have a lot of DSOD Yugi stuff, and then we have not DSOD Yugi stuff, but a lot of DSOD stuff, 5D stuff, and then the previous 3 skills that we talked about, 2 were GX ones. So like all sorts of different skills for all sorts of different characters from the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe, which is pretty cool. Currently, none of these have any text, so it's just up to speculation. But yeah, shout out to that Thunder Dragon Colossus Descent Preparation. Most likely for that and like the rest of the skills I've been mentioning in today's video, probably just a NPC exclusive skill for the tag duel event, because in the tag duel events, when you tag duel with the NPCs, they have broken cards, and when you probably tag duel with DSOD Mokuba in the whatever future tag duel event we get in the future, he'll probably just be able to use that Thunder Dragon Colossus Descent Preparation skill and just slam a Thunder Dragon Colossus onto the field, which would be pretty spicy, that's for sure. But definitely interesting to see, that's for sure. That's gonna be it for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. I was considering to talk about some of the DSOD Taya stuff in today's video, like the new animation and her artwork and whatnot, but I'll probably just talk about that either in an official video later in the week or in one of my live streams, so stay tuned to the channel for that. If you guys are interested in other content from me and enjoyed this video, be sure to go hit the like button on the video down below to show your support, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Duel Links content. Other than that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and I'll go see you guys in the next one. Adios, everybody.